Hey guys, so today we're going to be jumping into the final summon video for Ultra Rose Goku Black. And if you guys have seen the previous summon videos, you know that we are not exactly in a great spot jumping into this video here. So coming into this video, we are currently at 1 copy of the character when you need 5 copies to get them 14 stars, right? For Ultra characters, you get 2000 Z power per copy that you get. And so you needed 9,999 Z power in total to get them to 14 stars. So obviously, basically 10,000. So you need 5 copies of the Ultra character to get them to be 14 stars, aka fully maxed out. And we need 4 going into this video. So had a really, really rough time getting the second copy. And I will tell you guys that in between the first and second copies of this character, it took me right around 100,000 Chrono Crystals to go from 1 to 2 copies. It took me about 100,000 Chrono Crystals. After we get the second copy, things definitely do proceed rather smoothly through the rest of the summons, but it's that one little jump from 1 to 2. So when everything is said and done, I'm actually going to open my game on my phone right now, because if you guys didn't know, these summons are pre-recorded. These are not happening live. I'm not recording the summons like right now. These are already done. And the reason why I recorded the summons ahead of time is because with 4 copies needed, I expected that this potentially could have taken multiple hours of straight summons. So my initial thought process was I was going to screen record these and then I would speed up the gameplay so you guys don't have to sit here and wait for an hour and a half watching these summons. I used to do that a lot, actually. Back in the day when LF characters used to have 0.25% rates, and we didn't have double Z power, and we didn't have the summon coins on the LF step-up banners, I used to have to go in ridiculously deep into these banners, and then what I would do is I would screen record the summons and then speed up the gameplay, because otherwise it would just take way, way too long. So I was kind of prepared to do the same thing with this banner, but we actually ended up not doing too badly from this point forward. Again, it's just a really, really insane step in between the first and second copy, which again took me about 100,000 CC to just get through that hurdle there. And so when all is said and done, in my gift box, I can tell the way I can tell how much CC it took me in total to get this guy 14 stars is by looking at the amount of Legends tickets that I have in my gift box, because I can't accept the Legends tickets. What am I supposed to use them on? They said in the news at one point that they are going to be adding erasers or slot removers to the Legends ticket shop. Why do they have to announce that ahead of time? Why don't they just do it? Is it really that tough just to put the erasers into the Legends ticket? I don't understand. Like, oh, in a future update, we're going to be putting in erasers. By the time you typed that sentence, you probably could have implemented it already. I don't understand. But yeah, obviously, since I can't hold Legends tickets and I can't get rid of Legends tickets, the best way I can, and I guess the easiest way I can tell how many stones or how many crystals I spent on this banner is by looking how many stacks of unacceptable Legends tickets do I have in my gift box, and then I multiply that by 1,000, right? So in total, in my gift box, I have 153 stacks of 10 Legends tickets. Because you get a stack of 10 Legends tickets for every multi you do, and every multi on this banner is 1,000 crystals. That's 153,000 Chrono Crystals to 14 star this Rose. But keep in mind, that is not counting the free multi, which you get every time you use 3,000 CC, because it's the first 3 steps, and the 4th step is the free character. So that's a lot of summons. That's like give or take 200 multis. This is what it took for me to 14 star this Rose. Again, most of that was spent trying to go from 1 copy to 2 copies. So it was pretty rough, but we are now finished. Spoiler alert, he's 14 stars by the end of this video, but I'm sure you guys knew that already. So while the summons are going on in the background, I want to just talk about, while we're on the topic of discussing Ultra characters and Ultra banners, I made a poll on my community tab, which you guys can go and vote on. It says, I'll just read the poll and I'll read the options. So the poll is, in your opinion, what is the first thing they should do to improve Ultra characters? Or sorry, not to improve Ultra, to improve Ultra banners. What is the first thing they should do to improve Ultra banners? And so the choices that I gave that, to me at least, seemed the most logical. Number one, just straight up increase the rates of Ultra characters, which I think would probably be the best in terms of if you're just trying to pinpoint one Ultra character. The second option is include multiple Ultra characters in each banner. The third option is add summon coins. And then the fourth option I just put was other, and then to comment what your solution is. I mean, again, those three options, those are essentially the best three options, the most straightforward three options that I could see without them just drastically like changing the way that banners work, because it's not anything too difficult. It's pretty easy for them to do. And so out of those three options, I'll just break it down for you. So as of me recording this video, we have 39,000 votes across this poll. Currently in number one, we have multiple Ultra characters in each banner at 57% of the total votes. We have increasing the rates of Ultra characters at 38% of the total votes. And then we have summon coins at 4% and other is 1%. So it seems like most people would like them to first include multiple Ultra characters in each banner. And I will say that I probably do agree with this. So before we jump into me discussing why, I will say that eventually I would hope that all three of those things would be implemented, right? Eventually, I do want to see Ultra banners with multiple Ultra characters on it. I do want to see Ultra banners where Ultra characters have a better rate than they currently do at 0.35%. It is just way too low. And I also do want them to add summon coins to these banners. So at some point, I do want to see all these things implemented for Ultra banners. But I think the first step to accomplishing sort of like, I guess, stepping in the right direction and making a move to improve the way that these banners are formatted is to first add multiple Ultra characters to these banners. And so the way that they've been sort of like, I guess, doing the Ultra banners in terms of like old ones coming back, we have pretty frequent returns for these Ultra banners, but the way that they handle them is what they do is they just bring back the same Ultra banner. Like they don't change the characters that are featured on the banners at all. So this Rose banner, right? We have a set lineup for this banner. So this Rose banner, if we go ahead and take a look at the actual Z Power list, we have Ultra Rose, obviously the main character. We have Sword of Hope Trunks. We have LF Goku Black. We have LF Vegito Blue, and then we have LF Blue Vegeta, and then we have like the 1% Sparkings, quote unquote 1%, that are at 0.5% on this banner. And so what this banner is going to look like every time it returns in the future, it will just be this. This is what the banner will be whenever it returns, because that's the formula they've been using for all these Ultra banners. They just bring the exact same banner back, zero effort put into it, and it's just the same like really bad format. So at this point in the game's lifespan, we have 7 summonable Ultras. We have Ultra Super Gogeta. We have Blue Kaioken Goku. We have Ultra Super Vegito. We have Ultra Broly. We have Ultra Blue Gogeta. We have Ultra Hit, and then we have Ultra Rose Goku Black. So that's 7 summonable Ultras in total right now. That number is going to keep going up. And we've seen them release a lot of summonable Ultras in a pretty short span of time. We have Ultra Gogeta Blue released in December. Then we had Hit, and now we have Rose already. So in the span of 3 months, we have 3 summonable Ultras, pretty much, right? So if they keep churning out these Ultra characters at this speed and this frequency, then they're going to have to at some point stop just bringing back single Ultra characters per banner, and they're going to have to start putting multiple of these Ultra characters on each of these Ultra banners. Like Ultra Super Gogeta, he's still a good character, but obviously at this point he has been severely power crept by a lot of these recent units. He's still good, but he's not able to keep up on par with a lot of these recent characters. So if they bring back his Ultra banner, which they still do, in fact, I think his Ultra banners like came back pretty recently. Like that Super Gogeta Ultra, I think it was literally just up before Rose's banner went up. But like unless you're like a super mega Super Gogeta just fan, why are you summoning for Ultra Super Gogeta at this point? Yeah, again, he can be good. He can be okay. He has a good Z ability. There are some redeeming qualities for him, but he's just past his prime at this point. And again, the way these Ultra banners are formatted, basically only just the main character, the main Ultra character on these banners are what you're summoning for. because the rest of the lineup sucks. The Z power like rate and the Z power amount that you're getting is significantly worse than just an LF step up banner. There's no summon coins. Like you're just losing out on so much to summon for characters that are just like honestly just mediocre at this point. Like Blue Gogeta, not Ultra Gogeta Blue, like Blue Super Gogeta. Him, you have Blue Kaioken Goku, who I just revisited, wasn't impressed with him at all. I don't think he even fits on his main team anymore, which is Universe Reps. I mean, even Godki, because you have way better Blast Godki characters with the Evolution Blue Vegeta Zenkai, and now Trunks and Vegeta I think is much better than him as well. So he's kind of in no man's land, right? Blast Sun family doesn't really exist. I guess you could make it work with the Revival Goku. But yeah, like a lot of these Ultra characters that are getting power crapped, like why would you spend your crystal summoning on number 1 a worse banner for number 2 just not as good units? Right? It doesn't make any sense. So I think given the speed and frequency that they're bringing back Ultra characters, and the speed that they're and frequency that they're releasing new Ultra characters, they cannot continue just giving us and re-releasing the same Ultra banner, you know, over and over and over again, because even if they released and they brought back one Ultra banner every 2 weeks, it would now take 14 weeks to get through all these characters, which is way too long. It's like 3.5 months just to bring back a character once. So I think they're going to have to start putting on multiple Ultra characters onto the same banner. And I honestly, I think for the anniversary, we could see that. I think if I had to guess, I would say that the anniversary will probably be the same format that we saw for last anniversary and for Legends Festival, which is LF for part 1, we'll have an LF for part 2, and then the part 3 will be the Ultra. I could see for the anniversary Ultra banner, I think it's pretty likely. Do I want to say pretty likely? I think it's highly possible. I'll say that. I think it's highly possible that will be the first Ultra banner that features multiple Ultra characters on the banner, which again is something that I think they really have to do. So to answer my own poll, the first thing that they should do to improve Ultra banners, I would agree with the majority of people that picked this. Again, this has 57% of the total votes, which is include multiple Ultra characters in each banner. Completely agree. I think that's what they should do. So now moving on to the second point, which is increasing the rates of Ultra characters. So clearly you guys are watching me just completely get obliterated by this Rosé Ultra banner, right? So them just including multiple Ultra characters in these banners is not going to improve the chances that you pull the main headlining Ultra character, right? So for example, if this Rosé banner had, I don't know, maybe they added Blue Kaioken Goku. They added Ultra Blue Kaioken Goku to this banner lineup. That addition of Blue Kaioken Goku is obviously a really good change to the banner format, but it's not going to affect how often you're pulling the main Ultra character. It's not affecting how often you're pulling Ultra Rosé. All that's doing is making the banner better, which again is good, but in my opinion, the chances that you pull these Ultra characters is just way, way, way too low. I think I always joke about the double Ultra rate step, but in reality, it is a good thing that they have that. Having a double rates Ultra step is good. I'm not saying that all Ultra characters should have a 0.7% rate at all times, because that's just straight up better than an LF rate. But I do think that given the format, I think that 0.5% is more than sufficient for Ultra characters. And the reason why I say that is because there's no summon coins. There's no double rates. There's no double Z power. Like, sure, it takes 2,000, it gives you 2,000 Z power per Ultra pull, but everything else you're getting is just so, like, almost worthless. On this banner, they went out of their way to add Blue Zamasu early, because it is still pretty, I guess, close in proximity to when he released, which was when Vegeta and Trunks came out, so, like, early December. So it's been, like, 3 months since he came out, which is, you know, relatively quick after a new character comes out. They usually don't bring back characters that quickly. So for that reason, plus I think a lot of the LFs in this banner are actually pretty decent. Like the banner lineup, the lineup of featured units on this banner is actually pretty decent. However, the main character, the entire thought process and the entire reasoning behind why I made this option on the poll a thing, increasing the rates of Ultra characters, is not to make the overall banner better, but it's just to give you an easier time of pulling the main headlining Ultra unit. Because again, it's 0.35%, chance to pull the ultra character, right? If you're on step 2, which is the double race step, obviously it goes up to 0.7%, but in my opinion, I think just 0.35% is just way too low. Even though you only need 5 copies to pull the character, I don't like that. I think they should make it 0.5%. And I mean, if they're not going to change the banner format, right? So at some point, we do want to have both of those things on these banners. Multiple ultras in each banner, and then also have increased rates for ultra characters. And that, I think, is something that I could see them doing moving down the line, right? Because if you guys take a look at how the LF format sort of evolved over time, so the way that LFs used to be handled, the first 2 LF characters that ever released were Green Beerus and Red Father-Son Kamehameha Gohan. So back then, when those characters released, Legends Limited actually didn't exist. Back then, it was ticket exclusives. So basically how it worked was you got tickets for summoning on these step-up banners, basically Sparking Guarantee tickets that you would buy using the summon coins right now. And you would just get those as like freebies for summoning on the step-up banners. And then you would use those tickets, and the only way you could pull those characters was via the tickets. It was impossible. You could not pull the characters, Beerus and Gohan, from just the normal banner. You actually had to rely on the tickets. Do you guys know how obnoxious and cancerous that was? That was like one of the most predatory things ever. Like, even if you had everything 14 stars, like there were times where people just did not have the ticket exclusive character. Like Beerus. And the funny thing about Beerus was, like, he was terrible on really, like, Broly, Purple Dragon Ball Super Broly was the best character in the game, like 6 tiers above the rest of the game. It wasn't even remotely close. And then they released green support type Beerus, who was ticket exclusive, and like it felt like a shaft to even pull him because of how bad he was. But yeah, Gohan was insanely good when he released next to the yellow cell. So from that point, we obviously move forward to characters then having Legends Limited. The first, I guess, Legends Limited character we got was, I think it was when the first anniversary, I think, was when Super Vegeta came out. Because we had, in between Gohan and Super Vegeta, we had the LF Goten, but that banner had a very weird format that they've never repeated again. But Super Vegeta, I think, was the introduction of when they actually implemented the Legends Limited designation for characters. And they no longer had characters be ticket exclusive. However, their rates were 0.25%, and that continued all the way through. When did that continue? I think that continued all the way through Blue Gogeta and Blue Broly. I think Purple UI Goku was the last LF at 0.25%, and then I think Gogeta and Broly were the first LFs to have 0.5% rates. So from that point forward, from Super Vegito all the way through basically 2.5 years into the game, because Blue Gogeta and Broly came out for Legends Festival sort of like in between the 2nd and 3rd year anniversaries. So it took them about 1.5 years from the introduction of Legends Limited characters being 0.25% to get to 0.5% for all of them. And so you can just see this natural progression of, you know, these Legends Limited characters getting easier to pull. And then from there, they, of course, improved the LF step-up banner format once we had Legends Festival the following year, which was Tag, Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, and Sword of Hope Trunks, where the banners, well, those banners had triple Z power, triple rates, and now every LF Z power, or sorry, now every LF step-up banner has double Z power, double rates, right? So at the very minimum. So again, there is a very clear progression of LF characters getting easier to pull over time. And so I think it's just logical and natural to make the same assumption that that will also happen to Ultra banners. Ultra banners are not going to stay like this forever. And so I think it makes sense to at least give our suggestions to them in terms of a roadmap of how they can improve Ultra banners, right? Again, I think step 1 is to at least add multiple Ultra characters to the same banner. That's step 1. And then step 2 would be to increase the rates of Ultra characters just in general, because 0.35% is absurd. I would rather the rates to pull Ultra characters be 0.5% just across the board, and they remove the double rates step. What they could do is, I guess, this is sort of jumping into the third point, which is the summon coin system. The summon coin system, I think, should just be on every banner anyway. Like, summon coins should be a thing on Ultra Banner. Summon coins should be a thing on All-Star banners. It should exist on every banner format. There's no reason why summon coins should not just be a universal and general concept on every banner. That's number one. But what they could potentially do is they could have summon coins on the Ultra banner, and then just to make each step different, what they could do is they could maybe have step 2 give 2 summon coins per summon on step 2. So you have step 1 give 1 coin, you have step 2 give 2 coins, you have step 3 give 1 coin, and then the 4th multi is free. That's what they should do for these banners, I think, as a conclusion to this whole rant. And it's not really a rant because I'm not really that angry about it, but this discussion. So the second point that I just mentioned, increased rates of Ultra characters. And then for summon coins, you just, of course, have to, I mean, adding summon coins to these banners is like a no-brainer. Like, an idiot would know that that's what you should do. Right? It's so stupid that they don't have summon coins on every single banner in this game. But the ideal format, I think, for me moving forward, and before we wrap up this video, the ideal format for me for these banners would be to have multiple Ultras, increase the rates of each Ultra to 0.5%, and then add summon coins. You don't need a double Ultra rate step, just get rid of that, and then you can have double summon coins for that step too. And that's, I think, the format we should be moving towards. And I think we probably will see that start to evolve over time as we head into the anniversary. We could maybe start seeing the first iteration of this where we have multiple Ultras on the Ultra banner for the anniversary. But let me know down below what you guys think. I will be recording my 14-star Ultra Rose video after this. If you guys did decide to summon on this banner, wish you guys had better luck than me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.